Testing, testing. Testing, testing. Right. We'll try that again then, boys and girls. Sorry about that. Looks like this laptop has a few issues. Every time I start it up, it starts on the wrong audio source. But there we are. Welcome to tonight's stream. And it looks like I'm not zoomed in, am I? There you go. See? Things are always hunky-dory when you do things properly. Right. What is the time? 4 minutes late. That's not bad. I just need to sort a few things out and it should be easier to do. Let's just fire the lamps up a bit better. Write this down on that side. That's better. Right then, boys and girls. Thank you for coming in and watching. I'm not sure how many people are going to watch, but hey, this is a lot easier than doing recording and editing and all sorts of things. It's all just in one. And then all I've got to do is put end cards on when it goes up to YouTube. This is so much simpler. Right, the date's up there. My name's down there. What has happened today, boys and girls? Right, I've had a shave. I've had a shower. I've had a nice woman come round to take the rubbish away that I've accumulated over the last 5 days. I've had another police officer tell me today, that's 2 in 24 hours, to tell me that I should be entitled to a camera to protect my door. So I'm planning on putting the camera up sometime. And if they've got a problem, I've got a sergeant's email address that people can go and contact. I've heard quite a few rumours about Waltham Forest Council over the last few days about corruption within Waltham Forest Council. I've been trying for the best part of half a day now to get someone ranging from the police themselves to the LGO and the Housing Ombudsman. I've been trying to get someone to actually do something about this. Hold on, I think I'm clipping. Hold on a moment, boys and girls. Is that better? I'll turn that down. There we are. Yeah, so I'm not clipping so much now. Right, so I've been trying to get people to take an interest in this. It's not easy, because councils can cover things up quite easily, as I fully well know, because I've worked in, I've lost count now, 6, 7, possibly 8 councils. Oh, sorry about that. Yeah, possibly 8 councils. So I know how people can cover things up quite easily in civil service and public service. And the trick is to catch them before they destroy the evidence. And yet, the evidence isn't really there. It's verbal more than anything else. For instance, if a council employee favours one of his friends or her friends for some council service that would be not ordinarily available to that person in that short a timescale, then what is the link between that person and the person in the council? Short of, I mean, if it's one person or two people and there's a whole bunch of people connecting to those two people getting benefits or entitlements which they wouldn't necessarily or normally be entitled to, then there might be a way of tracing them through social media. Facebook would be the obvious, because these people are stupid normally, and it's like people that steal cars and then stream it on Facebook that they're stealing the car or pose in front of the stolen car. It happens all the time. Hello, Caspi. So there might be a way of tracking it through social media. I've done all I can to spot the corruption. It's not easy, not without revealing your own ID, because I do have several Facebook IDs that I can track things down on, just so people don't realise it's me. I think I even made a James T. Kirk one up once, but I can't log into the thing. I never used. I think I might have used it once or twice, but I don't know. It'll probably get deleted eventually. What else? So that's my mission now. Now I'm sure I'm not imagining all this. My mission is to clean up Waltham Forest Council. I need your help. Can't do this alone. There must be people in this borough that are aware of people that suddenly got things that they'd waited years for, and all of a sudden their friends or their new neighbours suddenly appeared, and they seem to be very close with some of the people in, like if they're having barbecues and coming round and visiting from council employees. I mean, they should be fairly obvious because they'll be wearing their name tags, because they're not that clever, a lot of these people. So please, if you think you know something, or if you do know something, either let me know or let the local press know, or the housing ombudsman. I would say, because I'm trapped in the housing ombudsman's circle, if you can, involve the local government and social care ombudsman, because this needs a major investigation. I have tried the National Audit Office, I have tried everyone. When I get a feeling, and I've looked into this for 2 years now, when I know something, it's just a matter of proving it. And there is so much scandal and so much corruption that I can't just get the right piece of evidence for, because Waltham Forest Council are obstructing my requests for freedom of information requests. They're ignoring the ones that are going to get them in trouble, and they're only fulfilling the ones that are likely not to. Although they've said recently they are going to fulfill some requests I didn't think they would, and yet some of those would be quite dangerous for Waltham Forest Council. And yet, if together we stand as a party, as a team, then we can do this, men and women, boys and girls of Waltham Forest. We can clean up this borough. It was never this bad a few years ago. It was a nice, friendly, former Essex colony. It was a nice, leafy, green, friendly borough. Now it's become in my opinion, because I've only known Waltham Forest in depth for 5 years, and in those 5 years it's gone to being friendly and neighbourly to almost lawless and spiteful in just 5 years. I don't know what other people in this area think. No one online? I can't see the stats for this. I don't know where to look. No comments. Hopefully someone's online watching this, but I'll carry on. But residents of Waltham Forest, I ask you urgently, think about what's going on around you. I can only do so much, but I can't get information if the council have blocked me. Even when I told the police this morning that, because they suggested going through the complaints procedure, and I said they'd give me a single point of contact unlawfully, in breach of my human rights, in breach of the Equalities Act 2010. No one cares. And I told this policewoman this morning that they've given me an unlawful single point of contact, and they've told the rest of the council to ignore all contact unless it's made through them. Even the senior Sharon Allen Caby, or whatever her name is, she even said that in an email this morning, because she didn't want to answer questions about racism and customer service and the way I've been treated and the breach of human rights. She didn't want to answer those questions. Like she didn't want to answer questions when she was in the meeting 12 months ago, roughly. And it's all right as long as you toe the line and do what you're told. But if you're not doing what you're told, then we'll just slap a single point of contact order on you, without any justification, without any control, without any end. That's the bit that people don't understand. People hear single point of contact and think, oh yes, that's what councils do. No, this has got no termination date. It's got no bounds. It's got no remit apart from all communications from me, not from the council, from me. So it's not a single point of contact. It's a single point to ignore me by. I've had single points of contact before. Because I've got autism, I actually do appreciate them. But a single point of contact from the main department that I've got complaints against is like asking a murderer to save your life. It's not the best thing to do. I've said previously, I don't mind having a single point of contact as long as they're trained in autism. As long as they're trained in mental health needs. Well, I know for sure that there's very few people in Waltham Forest Council that are trained even in mental health needs. So of course, when I say that's my remit, that's what I want a single point of contact for, because otherwise you're going to treat me unfairly. Well, housing don't like that. It gets their back up. So what can you do? Housing slaps a single point of contact on. Probably ratified by the chief executive himself, because it all started when I tried communicating with the chief executive, which is why it's not under the behavioural policy. So if it's not, this is the confusing bit. If it's not under the behavioural policy and I'm supposed to be antisocial, then why isn't it under the behavioural policy? No one will answer that question. Surely people with antisocial behaviour get treated under the behavioural policy. No, you're not being treated under that, Miss Gibbons. I've got that in writing from complaints as well. They say complaints, but they're actually, they should be renamed. It's not so much complaints as Waltham Forest Council back covering department. They just ring up another department. Oh, hold on a moment. Caspy? Caspy's pulling the laptop lead out. They just ring up another department. Oh, we've got this complaint from Mr. Gibbons. Oh yes, you've got all the paperwork, have you? Fine. He loves me, really. Didn't you? Do you want to come up here, Casper? They don't actually investigate, they just make sure the paperwork's there, or someone's done the paperwork. They sent me a report about my stage 2. It was a farce. From what I've seen of it, it's all nonsense and lies. Basically, complaints have contacted Housing, and Housing said, well, we've tried contacting Mr. Gibbons, but he keeps hanging up on us. We've tried helping Mr. Gibbons, but he keeps turning us down. We've tried helping Mr. Gibbons, and he keeps saying it's nothing to do with Housing. Honestly, watch these videos. They go back 3 years. You tell me if I've got problems with Housing. They're making it all up. Lie after lie. I'm going to have to sit down one day and go through their report line by line for the Housing Ombudsman and see what goes on. I'll try and have a word with the Housing Ombudsman tomorrow. I think they tried calling me back yesterday, but I accidentally hung up because on my phone the dial button and the hang up button are on the same spot on the screen. So if you're dialing a number and you go to dial as another call comes in, you hit the hang up button. How bizarre is that? Wouldn't you offset like the green button on the left and the red button on the right? Wouldn't you? So that if you do get a call coming in, you can't accidentally hang up on them. Simple fix, boys and girls. I wonder if I can change that. Casper, stop playing with your feet. It's playtime for Casper, you see, but I'm talking to no one, I think. Say something. Hello, everyone. Again. I can't see if anyone's there or not. So there we are. I've had a little tidy up because at least some people are trying to help me. I've got victim support calling me back on Monday. I've sent an email to my sergeant to try and get him to take a statement for my racial abuse. It was funny because when my friend came, Joe, to take the rubbish away, my neighbour tried coming out and she kept opening the door and closing the door and opening the door and closing the door. So I'm not going to be afraid of these people anymore. If they want to do something, do it. I dare you. They're fully aware I've got mental health issues. The council's fully aware of it for 2.5 years. Done nothing to help me, the council. Despite what they put down in paper, I know exactly what they've been putting down on paper. I don't need to see it. I know what they're putting down. We've tried to do this for Mr. Gibbons. They've tried to do nothing for Mr. Gibbons. The simplest thing they could have done in 2.5 years is call me from a mobile or a non-private number, i.e. use the bypass number. Housing constantly refused. And because they don't like what I say, they even refuse today to talk to me. Because of the contents of your last email. What, you don't like defending your staff because they're racist? Or does that mean that the senior housing manager herself is racist and she doesn't want to talk about it? Because I'm half a mind to actually send that email over as a formal complaint, because this is just taking too long. But even my complaints are being ignored. They're not agreeing to investigate the complaints. So I don't know. I'll have a word with the Housing Ombudsman tomorrow and see if I have to raise a complaint. Casper, what are you doing, son? My little cat's going mad down here. You alright, baby? He has actually gone crazy. Oh well, such is life. I'm just hoping that this is going out because I can't see anything. Is there any way of finding out what the stream is? Bear with me, boys and girls. I need to find out where the stream is. Stream. No, it's looks like it's live. If I go into I'm all new to this, you see. I don't know where the streams are or anything. Manage videos. Live. Oh, maybe it's here. Hold on a moment. No, I think that's the page I was on. Yeah. Maybe I need to set it up and then change the title. I don't know. I need to watch some more YouTube videos about setting streams up and how you manage them and things like that. Because at the moment it works fine like this. It's on OBS using a built-in webcam on a Dell Latitude, an i5. Nice little laptop. It does for me, let's put it that way. So I'm not touching it because I've got a habit of breaking things when I touch them. So tomorrow's another day, boys and girls. Let's see. At least I managed to, shower, clean the place up. I'll do some dusting and hoovering tomorrow and get this place clean. And then hopefully I'll stop coughing because I think I've got dust in the air. I've been using the water filter and that's been taking a lot of dust out. I might even show you around the flat properly sometime if I can get the webcam working, the wireless webcam. It's just a matter of getting it all working. Ooh, isn't that going to be fun? And then getting all of it on the same subnet, because I think at the moment I've got 2 subnets. And if this connects to that subnet, the laptop connects to the other subnet, I can't stream. So I need to try and find a way of getting all the subnets merged. I had it all merged a few weeks back, but I had a problem with the routers. I had to reset them all. And the router that isn't in the same subnet as the other 2 is a bugger to set up. It's a wavelink or a wavlink, and it is a pain to set up. I've got it working fine at the moment, so I think the only way around it is to set my phone up on the main router. It's got its own Wi-Fi connection, 5G one. So I set my phone up on the main router, and then my laptop connects to that router, and I'll talk to the laptop and OBS through that. So it should be fairly straightforward. I've got the phone cam bit working already. In fact, I've got it here somewhere. Let's see how quick it is to start the phone cam. Because normally I'd set all this up before. So if I set the phone cam up, and that's that. La 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 la. Right, we'll come out of that one. Go into that one. Talk amongst yourselves, even though there is no one here. By the looks of it, there's no one here. Not quite Big Clive Live, but hey, we're sort of getting there. So we put that up, start server, 115. Yeah, 115. Main screen. Phone cam. And there's the phone cam. There you go. I'll give you a quick look at the cats. There they are. There's Tabs. There's my little Caspy. And Merlin. Hold on, I'm going to go off microphone. I'm going to go in the next room and show you Merlin. I've lost one of the cats. Oh. And there's Merlin. You see, there's method in the madness. Merlin suddenly started hiding underneath the dining table. I'll plug this in and give you a look at what's going on. There you go. You can keep an eye on the cats in the corner. Right, where are we? I'm going to make that a bit smaller. There you go. Easy peasy when you've got a nice laptop and OBS Studio under Linux. Not sure what Windows is like anymore. I've been using Linux now virtually constantly. Apart from once a month I go in and do updates on Windows. I don't really use Windows anymore, thankfully. I do like Windows 10, don't get me wrong. But ever since, what was it, kernel 1.4? Long time ago. I've always liked Linux. From literally 1.4. I remember the transition from 1.4 to 2.2 and 2.4, 2.6. Then the big 3.0 kernel. It was all exciting in the Linux community. Years ago, 3.0. What we on now? 5 something? I don't even know what kernel we're on now. I wouldn't be able to tell you where it was. Oh, could I? Hold on. There is a way of finding that. I'll let you know what I'm on. No, I wouldn't know. System info, there we are. Kernel 5.4.0-52 I'm on at the moment. On an i5 4200, which isn't, top of the range. But it does for me. An Intel Haswell chipset, that'll do. Can't complain, mustn't grumble, as a former cleaner used to say in the Land Revenue. Mustn't grumble. She was funny, Grace. She'd say mustn't grumble and then stand there in front of you for 15 minutes having a moan about things. And then she'd end it with mustn't grumble, must get on. Such is life. Oh well. These little evening chats, they could become addictive. It feels like I know there's no one on. Oh, there's one person watching. Who's watching me? Say something. Exciting times, I've got a viewer. I've got a message up here as well. How's the cat doing? Caspy's gone to sleep and Tabs has gone hiding. Must keep the standards up, boys and girls. A nice vanilla latte. Must drink it before it goes too cold though. I think I've got someone messaging me. Well, that's not the normal message. I'm not sure what's going on. Shall I turn it off, boys and girls? Bye, Caspy. You can go and sleep by yourself now. Bang. There you go. Look how professional that looks. And it's only a little bit of click, click, hide, show, hide, show. I need to set a few more sources on OBS up. Oh, I've got a thank you from Amazon today as well for doing the video about the Aqua Optima Unfortunately, they don't put web links up on their site. It's literally just reviews, photographs. They don't expect people, but they thank me for the time and effort that I put into it. But I'll leave the review up because it will come in handy for someone. So let's see if I hear anything back from the police tomorrow. I've ordered a CCTV camera, a luminous CCTV camera sign, which I'm going to put on my door, and then I'll be putting the camera up. I'm going to readjust the angle anyway because it wasn't covering enough of the doorstep. But at the time I couldn't work out how he moved the camera around that far, because the problem I had then was I didn't have any network in the area, so I had to use the Wi-Fi aerial, and I couldn't unscrew the Wi-Fi aerial after I set a network up behind the door, not without taking the camera off, and it seemed such a far-ass thing to do because it is a pain. So now I've taken it off, I can try and take the Wi-Fi antenna off, and then I should be able to move it down a bit more, because the antenna was stopping me actually moving it. As I was moving it down, it was moving the aerial up, so it put in pressure on the back of the camera and I couldn't move it anymore. So with the antenna off, I should be able to move it, and this time I'll move it to cover me doorstep more, hopefully, if it will go down, because it goes down in great big, like 7.5 degrees at a time, I think it is. I sat down and worked it out 2 years ago. I think it's about 7.5 degrees. So it needs to be an adjustment of the ratchet, and maybe twist the camera around slightly when I'm screwing it in. But we'll see. I'll put that back up as soon as I get the sign. Not that anyone else with, you know, Ring door cameras or anything has to have a sign, but I'm going to put a sign up. Then no one can complain they didn't know about the camera, even though I've put it in such a way that it is obvious you're being filmed. So such is life. I might even invest in doing something for the door camera, because that's not been working in ages, and I've had a look at it. It's basically cheap and it's rusty contacts. The batteries went leaky. I'm not sure what batteries I had in it, but they went leaky. Oh, and here they come again, boys and girls of the world. Oh, no, I can't put it back. Okay, I can't put it back. Hold on, has that gone off? 11580. There we are. My two boys. One on the back of the sofa, and one just below him. There you go. You can see now. And that's Caspi. And that one up there, hiding, is Tabs. I wonder if I can actually zoom in on that. Hold on. It's all new stuff. Ooh, new. I'm going to go over here. Paste that in. No, I can't. I'm going to do a software zoom, boys and girls. Let's see how quick you can do this, Gibbons. Zoom. Zoom. Da 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 da. Oh, there we are. Zoom. There's my two boys. Oh, it does work. He's saying Gibbons is a genius. Have you noticed this? There we are. And voila! You see, it all works eventually. So the black and white one is Caspi, and the one on top, the tabby one, is Tabs. Say hello to YouTube, boys and girls. As you know, Merlin's underneath the table, so he's not going to move for anyone. But these two don't mind the camera normally. Especially Casper, he's like, well, as you've seen on recent thumbnails, when the camera's on, he's all over it. But it's just that time of night, they've just been fed. Dinner time, bedtime. I'll go to bed soon, after I've done this broadcast and called a couple of people. Such is life. Crop, crop, crop. Zoom, zoom, zoom. Zoom. Zoom a bit more. That's not bad coming from a phone, boys and girls, is it? That is quite good coming from a little phone. Powered by USB, Wi-Fi. I mean, it is good that they're not moving, because the blur is a bit... But it's all good. I'm surprised. Move the light away. There we are. Sharpen it up a little. It's all practice, you know. Eventually, I'll work out how to use the IP cameras I've got around the flat, and I'll add those into OBS. Just because, if you can, why not? And it's easy talking to webcam because there's a light here, and I'll talk to the light, and it looks like I'm talking to you. Let me go back to, hold on, there might be someone there. There was someone watching. Who's watching? Send me a message, whoever's there. It would be nice to have some feedback. I know someone was watching the other night, a friend of mine. And that was quite handy. That was nice to know there was someone on the other end. So I think I'll end it there because I've been rambling on now for 30 minutes, 40 minutes. Good grief. See, that's the other advantage of doing it on the laptop, on my desk. I've got a clock here, I've got control of the cameras and the software. I can, if something goes wrong or I need to take a break, I can always put the start broadcast screen up and you can still hear me. But I could be standing here butt naked for all you know and you wouldn't be able to see. But I'll come back. There we are. Look how nice that is. Pretty little face. Anyway, person watching me and all the other viewers around the world, thank you for watching. Please pass the message on. All residents in Waltham Forest. I've set an Aldrich Way community Facebook page up. Find it out. Aldrich Way E4. Search for it. Join. Spread the news. Corruption is about to end in Waltham Forest if we do this together. Thank you. Good night.